Hey friends, today I'll be making 3 Galaxy dye shirts. These shirts are for a dear friend of mine for her kids for the first day of school. The school colors are orange and black, and I've really been wanting to experiment with different colors in my Galaxy Method shirts. If you've watched my other Galaxy shirt video, you know that it takes me about 3 to 4 hours to make an adult size. These shirts should take me about 2 to 2.5 hours each, with the exception of the baby bodysuit. That should go pretty quick. As usual, I prep the shirts by washing them in a textile detergent, and then I soak them in a soda ash solution and spin them dry in my washer. Then I scrunch these up pretty tight. The patterns that I get from layering the ice dye on top of these are going to determine how the galaxies will look. When I work with children's clothes, I try to be really cognizant of how I'm folding it, since there isn't as much space as on the older youth and adult shirts. After that, I prepare a bin for the ice dye process. Adult shirts generally go through 2 to 3 ice dye processes before I can put the Galaxy on. Since there's less fabric in the children and baby sizes, this one may get by with just 1 ice dye. I'm also placing some silicone cake molds around the edges to encourage the ice to go towards the shirts. If there's a lot of nooks and crannies, the ice can actually just fall through, and we want the ice to really be sitting on top of the shirts. I start layering in the Procyon dye. I was honestly a little nervous about how this would turn out, since I've never tried the Galaxy shirts with orange and black before. One of the things that gives the Galaxies more depth and makes them look more realistic is by strategically layering similar colors together. I spend a few minutes every day studying pictures of the Galaxy so that I can work towards making them look as real as possible. I'll be using both the dye under ice and dye over ice method. I'm also using a gray near the black to kind of blend out the difference between the orange and the black. I sprinkle on a layer of soda ash. This keeps the pH the correct level so that the dye will really stick to the fibers. The ice will wash out the soda ash that's already in the shirt, so it's really important to add some to replace it. I carefully add ice on top of the shirts and the dye, and then I'm going to add another layer of dye to give it some depth. It's important to use a lot of ice to make sure that all of that dye goes through all of the fabric. I'm also being careful not to miss any holes with the ice. I'm really being generous with the dye because once I add the bleach on, the dye layers will sort of come off one at a time. After all the dye is added, I'll add one last layer of soda ash. I'll let it batch for 24 hours, and then I can wash and dry them. Then it's time to add the stars and the galaxies. I use a solution of 50% bleach to 50% water, and I have several brushes that I use to sort of fling or paint the stars on. It's a little bit tricky to get footage of this part because there's bleach flying all over the place, and I need to also protect my camera lenses. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes for the stars to show up, so this video clip is actually sped up 10 times. The bleach is abrasive to the fabric, so to stop the bleaching process, I do soak each item in a solution of water and peroxide to neutralize the bleach. After it's soaked for about 10 minutes, I can take it out and I can wash it and dry it and steam it, and here are the results. The color combination turned out amazing, and I will definitely be making more and experimenting with other colors. And here are some action shots from the first day of school. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know which one is your favorite in the comments.